Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This week, the NDP government will take Alberta companies to court over power purchase agreements. With PPAs, we've had a reliable supply of energy for years, and the Alberta energy has been the cheapest amongst the provinces historically. But because this government didn't understand the impact of rush policies, Alberta power companies are exercising their right to return the PPAs to the Premier. Your ministers failed to properly consult with industry stakeholders and didn't take the advice of their hard-working public servants after you got advice. Will you now do the right thing and drop this court case before it starts, because that's what's in the best interest of Alberta?
Honourable Premier.
I have to say, it really is a bit rich coming from over there because, certainly the position of these power companies is that they signed a deal that nobody saw in the public sphere because of an OIC to keep the deal quiet, a deal that said they could keep their profits, and when they started to experience losses, taxpayers had to pay for it. That's what the companies are suggesting is the case, and it appears as though the members opposite think that's just great and that's in the best interests of Albertans. Well, Mr. Speaker, we do not.
Yeah.
Newsflash for the Premier. No matter who wins this lawsuit, Albertans lose. Albertans pay. You are causing this. You're causing extra expenses for court cases. You're causing extra distress on the very companies that invest in creating power, renewable and otherwise in Alberta, and yet you're forging ahead. With the extra price tag of the court case, when the same person is going to pay other ways, why are you so against Alberta-based investment? Because, no, you just said it. You're against profit. You are offended by it. Premier, why are you offended by companies making profit?
It's illegal to make money in Alberta.
The Honourable Premier.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As you can imagine, reject almost the entire premise of that question. I will simply say that we will continue to stand up for Albertans. We will assert that the system was one where the private industry, who was intended to take the risk, enjoy the benefits of the profit, therefore one would expect would also endure the risk where there was some. Either way, we will continue to take whatever action we can to get the best deal we can for Albertans, and we will not back down from that, Mr. Speaker.
Second supplemental.
In this province, only the government thinks profit's a dirty word, Mr. Speaker. Given that our PC government put a price on carbon, worked with companies, publicly owned companies like ENMAX and Capital Power to invest in renewable energy, it was clear we were taking a stand on the realities of climate change. To the Premier, the economic impact study you released yesterday, this week, was an insult to Albertans. Will you be accountable to Albertans and share a fulsome economic impact, not the flimsy piece that was presented this week, and make the case to Albertans, because so far you haven't even come close?
Honourable Premier.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We have released a good deal of information about this, and indeed, as I mentioned a couple of days ago, there have been other studies out there as well that have supported our position, that in fact our climate change leadership plan will grow the economy, will ensure that we are able to diversify the economy, will actually overtake the cost of doing nothing, something which is not in any kind of economic analysis, Mr. Speaker, will actually protect the environment, will actually position Alberta as a progressive, modern energy producer, and will ultimately enhance our ability to grow our markets. Mr. Speaker, it will benefit.
Thank you, Honourable Premier.